going on, everybody? Welcome to another top 10 list because we're all being quarantined. I gotta help you guys decide on what movies, what shows to watch. I've already done my top 10 shows to binge while you're being quarantined. And well, now it's time to talk about your top 10 movie marathons you should do during this pandemic going on. Now, obviously, I can't mention the virus without being demonetized, but I'm excited to at least be doing this video. It'll be a fun time at that, guys. So thank you guys so much for clicking on this. If you guys are new here, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be doing even more top 10 videos coming up in the next couple of days, and I'll still be providing you with some geeky content, and of course I do early movie reviews when more of them start to come out because, yeah, this thing's kind of screwing me over. But thank you guys again so much for watching this, and without further ado, let's get started. Down at my number 10 is going to be James Bond 007. It's the best time to kind of marathon these because we are still having No Time to Die come out later this year, and it's coming out later in November. So we have till November to finally check this one out. So you have all that time to binge watch the 24 James Bond films, and why not get a head start on them all right now? I'm kind of much excited for this because there's a lot of James Bond movies I've never seen, and this is one of the ones that I'm excited to binge watch and marathon through before No Time to Die. And at my number 9, talk about a scary virus. It's Planet of the Apes. If you guys remember, what is it? There's Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and of course War for the Planet of the Apes. What an amazing trilogy that was. One of the best trilogies ever created. But in that first one in particular, the way that it ended with the blood dropping on the floor seems very much timely in today's manners, so I thought it was kind of a nice one to slide in there. But of course, in general, this is a trilogy I think many people passed up on, and it's one that you guys should be checking out. It's such a fantastic and emotional journey with the character of Caesar, and the way that you see his character develop throughout the 3 films is truly spectacular. This is one of the best trilogies ever created, and if you missed it in the theaters, it's your time to catch up now. Coming up at my number 8, I had to choose a fun adventure movie, and that is Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, this one's like one of my favorite franchises of all time, and I decided to put this because I think we all need to have some fun at this point in time. We all need some laughs. We all need those great worlds to kind of dive into, and Pirates has it, especially with Disneyland being closed. I think we need some Disney flair coming out, but because I'm supposed to go to Disneyland in a couple weeks, I don't know if that's happening anymore. Fingers crossed it does. I hope this all gets better so I can, but if not, I get to watch Pirates of the Caribbean. I can binge watch them through. There's 5 of them, and at least 4 of them are really good. To me, at least. I love the world building in 2 and 3. 4 is okay. It has some fun, particular elements to it. But 1 is a classic, and 5 was absolutely a big surprise. And with that said, you get Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow, one of the most memorable characters in all of Disney history. And speaking of another iconic character, at my number 7 is another great adventure series, and that is Indiana Jones. Now, of course, we are supposed to be getting an Indiana Jones 5 with director from Ford v Ferrari, which I'm so excited to see what James Mangold can do with an Indiana Jones 5, but we got 4 other ones to talk about, and really all of them are fun. I know a lot of people crap on 4. I think it's fine. It's still a fun adventure movie, but 1 through 3 at least are near perfection, and it's one of those series that you should definitely check out if you've never seen. Many people have never seen them, but they're all on Netflix right now, so you should stop what you're doing after watching this video, of course, and head on over to watch it because it's whiptastic, it's fantastic, and it's just one of those adventure movies that you follow throughout, and it just puts a big smile on your face, and they still hold up to today. I mean, hell, Raiders of the Lost Ark is one of my favorite films of all time. And coming in at my number 6 is going to be the Dark Knight trilogy. Now, if you're talking about best trilogies of all time, the Dark Knight trilogy might be up there with them all. And per se, to say the least, Dark Knight is incredible. The whole trilogy. Batman Begins is probably my favorite Batman film of all time. Dark Knight is one of the best crime thrillers out there, with also one of the best superhero films out there as well. But when you look at The Dark Knight Rises, it's such a satisfying conclusion, and Bane is such an imposing villain. And of course, same with the Joker in Dark Knight. I love what the Dark Knight trilogy stands for, and this is a trilogy that if you haven't watched in the last few years, is kind of good to kind of dive in and kind of just in general revisit some of the older Batman movies. I guess you could pretty much say just do a Batman marathon of all the older Batman movies, but I really much wanted to just focus in on these 3. Or give you as my top 5, I do have some honorable mentions to mention. Let's get straight into them. I do have the Jurassic Park films, the Spider-Man Sam Raimi series, the Fast and Furious, and of course I also have a Tarantino marathon because it's always great to kind of dive into the old Tarantino films and kind of just whisk away through them. And really, you could probably say, if you're going through some of the horror ones, you probably mentioned The Purge, the Conjuring series. There's so many other flares inside there, but in general, these are the ones I wanted to focus on. And if you guys are new here as well, make sure to again hit that like and subscribe button, comment down below and let me know what movie marathons you guys are going to be checking out, and as well comment down below and let me know what did I miss. I know some people might be like, what about Back to the Future? I guess that could be an honorable mention as well. Head on over to Sandwich on Films on how to see movies early when movie theaters start opening up again, and of course just a big thank you to you and a big thank you to my Patreon supporters, because without you I wouldn't be able to do this. And my number 5 is going to be the MCU Marathon. I mean, this is such a wide, vast variety of movies already. And with Black Widow soon to be coming out later this year, hopefully also with the Winter Soldier and Falcon and WandaVision and even the Eternals setting up all of the Phase 4 stuff. We're heading into Phase 4 this time of year, and it's kind of good to always if you get the chance to rewatch them all and see where it all builds upon in the entirety. It's awesome that we got Endgame and Spider-Man Far From Home last year and how it all set up to where we are heading out into the future. I'm excited to see the future of the MCU. I'm planning on doing a theorizing podcast with Ren Geekness over on our podcast, so make sure to look out for that. But I'm just excited to see the evolution of how it continues to evolve, and it's just so nice to kind of dive back into some of the older films, because really the MCU, they don't have any crap boxes yet. Like, they're all at least good movies, and then some of them are amazing. All of them make you smile, feel something, and just feel energetically in it, and really just in general make you feel like you are alive. I mean, at my number 4, I was originally going to have this one as just a Toy Story marathon, because personally that's what I'm going to be doing when I get quarantined, but choosing at my number 4 is a Pixar marathon, because Pixar creates some of the best movies ever made, and I actually have a feeling we're going to see Onward soon, and so if you haven't seen Onward yet, look out for that soon. In general, I love Pixar, and I think always diving back through their films always puts a big smile on my face, and of course, if you have a family, if you have kids, they're great films for adults, and also great films for kids, but if you're going to pick any Pixar film, you should probably watch Toy Story, because 1 through 4, I just love. And coming in at my number 3 is going to be the Lord of the Rings Marathon. Now, I don't really include The Hobbit in this. If you like The Hobbit, help, throw it in there. I'm not the biggest fan of The Hobbit. I love the original Lord of the Rings, and you could easily do the extended editions within this. You'll have the time to, and you should, because there's a lot more parallels to them. They're actually add a lot more depth to these films than you actually thought the original versions had, and that's what makes me so excited to see what is inside the Lord of the Rings, because personally for me, I haven't seen all the extended editions, and this is one that I'm definitely wanting to look forward to in watching. And in general, I just love Lord of the Rings. This is one of those series that I love rewatching at least once a year, getting through the whole marathon and just having a big smile on my face while also going through a great adventure. Because really, when you're quarantined and can't do anything, these are the best movies to watch, because you want to feel like you were alive and going on an adventure to the world. And coming at my number 2, this is one I think a lot of people are going to relate to, and that is Harry Potter. Having a Harry Potter marathon is like, I mean, it should be part of your life. It should be a part of, if you have a religion, it should be a part of your religion. I mean, Harry Potter, there's something about marathoning these films because they're all at least good. They're all at least decent, and you can have fun with at least every single one of them. And there are so many people out there who have never even watched Harry Potter movies, surprisingly enough. I mean, surprisingly enough for me, I'd only seen the first 5 until about when the first Fantastic Beasts came out, and then I finally sat down and watched them all in one sitting, and I fell in love with it. I love what Harry Potter stands for, and you know what, the first Fantastic Beasts is fun. I actually really like Crimes of Grindelwald, and I think that just adds to additions because they are currently going into production on the next one very much soon, so why not set up? And I actually have a feeling they're going to do a Harry Potter sequel very much soon, taking place with the kids now older. We'll see about that. It just kind of seems to be the big popular thing in history, but really Harry Potter Marathon. It's magical, it's mystical, and it's one of the things you should check out. Coming in on my number 1 is going to be Star Wars Marathon. Now, I'm putting this out there because Rise of Skywalker is coming in to Blu-ray very soon, and of course, it's actually hit digital even earlier. I know not everyone was a big fan of it. I liked it, I enjoyed it, I did have some gripes with it, but when you're looking at the whole Star Wars entirety, it takes you to a galaxy far, far away. You have some great adventure moments with inside there, crowd-pleasing moments, fun elements. You can watch it with your kids, you can watch it as a family. There's all those sorts of elements in there, and then you can even throw in The Mandalorian, you can throw in Clone Wars, you can throw in Star Wars Rebels. Disney Plus has all this, and that's what actually makes me happy, is that there isn't just the movies now. I very much implore you to check out these shows. The Clone Wars and Rebels shows add so many aspects to the Star Wars lore, especially Clone Wars. Like, if you're not a fan of the prequels, definitely watch Phantom Menace, watch Attack of the Clones, then watch Clone Wars in its entirety, then watch Revenge of the Sith. I guarantee you're gonna have a lot more feelings for Anakin, Padme, Obi-Wan, and everyone else in that whole roundabout. Then, of course, you can dive into the original trilogy with Rebels as well, kind of all mixed in there, and then, of course, go into this new sequel trilogy, or maybe skip it if that's not your cup of tea. But seriously, Star Wars, it's one of my favorite things to always binge and go back and through a marathon. It has lovable and likable characters, it has great story arcs, it has great action sequences throughout it, and they're all classics. I mean, they're all classics. I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm posing it as a Star Wars fan. Any of these films could have been my number one, but in general, these are the top 10 movies you guys should marathon through while quarantine, or in just general while you're surviving through this pandemic. So thank you guys again so much for watching this. If you're new here, hit that like and subscribe button. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys are going to be checking out. What are you guys going to be marathoning? And look out for more videos very much soon, including into this series. If you got any other lists you guys would love me to do, make sure to tell me down below, because I really am taking these suggestions. And guys, just thank you as always. Stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll make sure to catch you guys soon. So of course, until next time, stay classy.